𝗖𝘆𝗰𝗶𝗴𝗲 has demonstrated an aerial 3D display which can project text and images in mid-air.
他のディスプレイとの最大の違いはスクリーンレスディスプレイである。全くスクリーンのいらないこの大気中に文字や絵を描画できる唯一の装置であるということです。なぜこのディスプレイを開発しようかと思ったのは、その大震災があった時に文字を空中にかけたら非常にいいんじゃないかという発想で、じゃあ空につまり空気中にどうやって文字を書こうかと思った時に、そのプラズマ発光という現象を使おうというふうに考えたところが違いであるというふうに思っています。
The images are constructed by firing a 1 kHz infrared pulse laser into a 3D scanner, which reflects and focuses the pulses of the laser to specific points in the air. The molecules at that point are ionized, and the energy is released as photons. 𝗖𝘆𝗰𝗶𝗴𝗏 believes that using this technology in emergencies will aid communication after a disaster, letting people know where to evacuate or obtain food and emergency supplies.
製品化は、今日見ていただいたようなその車載化なんですけども、車載化を自分たちに合った車に車体を作って、それでその車体を改造して、その 3D ディスプレイに合った車にして、そのご要望のあるところに移動をして、それで、ディスプレイを、見ていただく、それから情報を流すということをやることを考えているんですが、それはできたら来年早々にはやりたいというふうに希望は持っている。
As well as prioritizing transportability, 𝗖𝘆𝗰𝗶𝗴𝗏 plans to market the display overseas to increase recognition of this technology.
You know the people that see orbs in the sky?
Yeah.
Go around that fly faster
UFOs?
than UFOs.
Yeah, there's Navy pilots. There's multiple Navy pilots who talk about they got their they were flying F-18s. These Navy pilots, and one of them's coming in here in 2 weeks. He's Ryan Graves.
Okay.
He's a Navy pilot flying off the coast of North Carolina, and they got their radar upgraded on their F-18s, and all of a sudden they were seeing these things darting around on their radar.
Don't tell him what I'm about to say and see if he knows about it.
Okay.
So what we do is we play with our own forces, make sure our trickery will work on the enemy. And those are directed energy weapons of where we do intersecting beams or focus beams into the atmosphere. And notice they're always in the atmosphere, to excite the electron orbitals of the oxygen and nitrogen in our atmosphere, and it causes a glow and it causes ionization. That ionization shows up on radar, and it's like a cat laser pointer, and we're making planes chase them.
That's exactly how they describe these things moving, like laser pointers.
Yeah, and so we can do it in 3 space. We can make it look like
in 3-dimensional space.
Yeah, and we can make it look like an entire fleet is about to drop bombs on, let's say, Europe, and then just have them disappear. And they get all their planes up in the air, and we attack them from the other direction, assuming we're attacking Europe.
Who is doing this? The Navy, you said?
Somebody. Let's just say a group, you know.
And you know this for a fact.
I know for a fact, yeah. So anyway, don't tell your guests.
A group within the U.S. government.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that.
And is this something that could be seen with the naked eye, or
yes,
is this something
because
that
it glows? It glows, so it'd be seeable. You can see it by the naked eye, and it would leave a radar trace. So it's and it involves the voice of God weapons that I was talking about.
Project Bluebeam does.
And this got leaked, so it probably won't have the effect, and they probably won't do it. But if you wanted to bring the world together, as President Reagan said in several UN speeches, you would have a common enemy like evil aliens attacking. We forget our differences and we fight against it. So that was Project Bluebeam, was to trick the human race into believing either God is coming down, everybody hears the voice of God, the microwave hearing effect, get along, whatever the new message is, or it was going to be the evil aliens attacking. And notice how they, all of a sudden, all the governments release all their information on UFOs, a whole division dedicated, and that's just deception.
This group of techniques that came out at that time came out of Hollywood. Now, you've seen Argo? Has anyone in here seen Argo? Hands? Oh yeah, Ben Affleck would love you guys. In Argo, Tony proposes, let's get a Hollywood location scouting crew. And Bryan Cranston laughs, or says, the best bad idea? This is our best bad idea. It wasn't a bad idea, it was kind of a good idea. Tony knew a lot of people out in LA. He knew a lot of people in Hollywood. He knew a lot of people in the magic community, because Tony had always been interested in magic as a kid, and he paid attention to it. So we went back behind the scenes in LA to the people that design and engineer the illusions, and that is a profession of building illusions for the magicians to perform. They don't design them. The magicians are the performers. The people we were interested in were the engineers. We said, okay, you can walk an elephant out on the stage in a theater and make it disappear. We've seen it. Big box on the stage, elephant comes out, they walk him in, they close the door, they talk to you for a minute, they open the door, the elephant's gone. We wanted to know, how do you do that? I mean, of course it's a trick, but we have some people in Moscow that we would like to disappear right on the street too. And it doesn't have to be that big a box, but we want to know how to execute deception and illusion on the streets of this tough city that we were working in. And I don't think anybody in LA ever said no to us, whether we were talking about masks, whether we were talking about special effects or makeup, certainly not when we were talking about deception and illusion. What they told us is there are some formulas that are just so basic. They said, when you start out, you call it an operation, we call it a performance. If you're going to have a successful performance, you have to first understand your stage. Where is your stage? What is your stage? Is your stage the sidewalk outside the American Embassy? Or is it a parking garage somewhere? What is your stage that you're performing on? Is it in the lobby of the embassy? So find your stage. Then, who's your audience? Who are you playing to? Who are you trying to fool? And you have to understand their point of view, actually their field of vision, because some deceptions, you can walk in a circle around them and they still hold up. Some deceptions, like the elephant, you have to be sitting straight in front of it. And if you're off over here, you might start seeing, that's a little hinky. You have to be in front of it. So they said the point of view is very important. So figure out your stage, figure out your audience, and then you just kind of overwhelm them with your performance. We did things called identity transformation, where we would turn you into you. We would switch people. We would take the person that had no surveillance and our person who had too much, and we would switch them. It was a way to get away from surveillance. We used masks. You probably saw a picture in the back of the room of a mask. That was one of the first ones we made. Hollywood uses twins. Well, we didn't have twins, but we could make twins. We could make triplets. We could make 8 of you, but we usually only needed 1 more extra. If you have 2 of you, then you can develop these scenarios where surveillance is very confident that they are following you, but it's not you. It's you number 2. You number 2 is taken off and is inside this bar and doing something else. That mask technology took me into the Oval Office. There's a display in this museum that shows I'm demonstrating the mask technology to the president. I'm briefing him. Eventually I took the mask off and showed it to him, and he was impressed.